I'm Lady Zelda. Welcome to Vale Keep. Let's start over. Welcome to Mercury Retrograde Central. I am Lady Zelda. Today we are at the House of Vale Keep. Thank you so much for being here. Lord Gregor is busy working on the renovations, and he sends his best to each and every one of them, or to each one. Let's start over. He sends his best to each and every one of you and says that he will be back soon, but he's doing everything he can to get some things in shape ahead of time because he's going to be back here with me in a couple of weeks. So we will have more podcasts, more goodies. But tonight I just wanted to put a few things together to get you in a good way, and keep you here. Hello, my darlings. Hello, each and every one of you. And hello and thank you to Captain Harris. Hello, my sister and my friend. Hello, and thank you so much for being here. I see some beautiful, familiar faces, and I want to thank you for being here, my darlings. So let me say hello to this beautiful young lady, one of my favorite people. You all are my favorite people. You all are my favorite people. So thank you so much. So tonight, he will be back with me, and because 2 weeks is my birthday, and I will be 29. And he has, I was going to say something, but it doesn't sound good in this environment that we're in right now. So he will be back for my birthday, and I'm really excited to have him back. So hello, my darlings. The other exciting thing is we can now have merchandise. And I've got a line of merchandise that I'm going to be putting up here. And Lord Gregor has got to sign off on some of it because, I tell him what to do, but he's the boss. He wears the pants in the family. There we are. I've got some goodies to show you tonight, and we're going to be working on the last of the Catacomb cards. I'm going to be kind of sketching this last one out before we finalize it, and then Saturday night during the live that I have at 7 p.m., I'm going to be rolling them through and releasing those. So thank you. And I'm excited because I want you to be a part of all of this. But let me tell you a little something. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to each and every one of you coming in. I love it. And for all of you that want to know, because some people farm out all of their images and everything else, and I don't do that. A lot of creators, and they're bigger than me, they're bigger than Lord Gregor and I. A lot of people, and it's okay. I mean, I get it. I wish I had a couple of mini-me's around here other than Sam. You know what I mean? But a lot of people farm out their artwork to maybe Fiverr or maybe, and speaking of the devil here we go. Anyway, they farm out their artwork, and I don't do that. I just wanted to be more intimate with us. You know what I mean? I want it to be a part of everything that I do. And that includes this channel, that includes True Oracle, and that includes my channel. And wow, I'm going to tell you what, this is our first live stream. Our very first one that we are here, that I am here in front of the camera, other than a podcast. And I want to look at this darling. Oh, hi, Angie. Hi. It's going a little fast. Thank you so much, my darling, for the generosity. And this is the first little sticker that has been sent. I'll tell you what, Lord Gregor gets a kick out of this because, first of all, he's never heard about this stuff before, right? Never heard of it. And he just thinks it's like, because it's not in his realm. And I can tell you what, when I go to the Vale Keep in June, that's not going to be my realm either. I've been checking the weather. In June, the area that I'm going to be in is going to be in the mid to high 60s. And that here is going to feel like, to me, because the elevation is so high, to me, it's going to feel like it's probably high 50s. So I have to dress appropriately. I don't know how that's going to work, but he assures me that his staff, the staff, will have things there for me if I need. Because I certainly don't want to be lugging a bunch of stuff. So anyway, you see this girl here, which was his constant companion the last time that he was here. She has been a puppy since he left. I'm not kidding. I told him, you need to come back. You need to come back. Not only for me, but for this little gal. She is like, yeah, she's my girl. She's purring. But, you know, we have our nightly calls, and it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning by the time we get to talk. And he's up, and I'm like dragging, but it's okay. He doesn't have to sleep much. I'm not going to bring her to Vale Keep. She wouldn't make it. Well, first of all, there would have to be some type of quarantine, and I won't do it to her. By the time, because I'm only going to be staying like maybe 7 to 10 days. By the time I got there, quarantine is like, can be up to 3 months, and you can't get the shots ahead of time. So I'm just going to do it. So anyway, oh my goodness. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much for your support. So yeah, so he's just going to have to see. And once the Vale Keep starts humming, and I'm just going to say this, when they start getting, you know, because they've got the plans, he has his people there, some artisans. He doesn't call them, I mean, they're artisans, and they have to be, but they're artisans. And the people that he's got there, they're going through plans, and they actually found, and I'm begging the Mr. Lord Gregor to either bring me a copy. He can't bring a copy with him, but to make a copy, take a photo. That's what he does for me anyway. Take a photo and send it to me, because these are ancient of day plans. And I want you to know, we're talking about the catacombs. Now the catacombs are underneath, and I'm going to put up a picture here. It's a rendering that I made. So it's not real, but it's real based on what, when he was here, what he told me, what, you know, whatever, pictures, whatever. This is the best I can do. This is the rendering of the renovation map. And I know we did show this in our last podcast last week, I think. I can't even remember. The shaded area that you see, and the area that is the larger with those beautiful turrets and steeples, will remain almost the same. Those outer walls will come down, but all of that area to, let me see if I'm pointing, oh no, I'm not pointing correctly. All of that area on the far side will, that's going to be gone. That is a big guardhouse right there. And that guardhouse is going to come down, and it's got to come down starting at the top and taking all those stones. A lot of this, when you get to the bottom and when you see all this rockiness, it's limestone. And when I ask Lord Gregor about how old the catacombs are, you can't, it's like the pyramids, like I did this video today. It's like the pyramids. You can't carbon date limestone because it's been here for thousands of years to begin with, so we don't know. You can carbon date the wood, you see these trusses up here, the wood and all this other. Now, I took this as a replica of just one of these rooms that basically just says, I'm here. That's all it is. It's not heated. A lot of the rooms, they don't heat. But right now, it's getting to the point where it's kind of spring-like there, and the snow is melting quickly. It was very sunny today. So they're finding leaks of all things. Now, when he was here and he went back home, the day he got home, he went down to see the two horses, Vespera and Lunara, and water was pouring into the lower stable. Now, there is a lower stable, and oh, hold on, Kimberly. Hello, my darling. Hold on. Your face mesmerized. I thought your profile pic wasn't real, like your hubby's. But wow, it's really you. Yeah. Thank you. And that's really my hubby too. And he told me last time when I was here, don't tell him, but he said, that's starting to look a little bit too much like me, because it does. Anyway, thank you so much. So anyway, in the lower stable, because they do, and let me put up this renovation map again. On the other side, when you go over the roof, on the other side are the entryways, and the grandness of this place is almost pathetic, right? The under cables, or the under, not cables, stables, hello. The understable is below there, and that is so that the horses can stay without worrying about all of this cold and snow and wind and animals, and because it can get pretty treacherous and desolate up in there. So when he went there, water from leaks coming down through. So he was basically in that stable all night. They were trying to do some things. His steward went and got some people, and it's kind of been like that. And to be honest with you, this is time. I mean, a place this big, the upkeep is astronomical, if you can believe it. And this is a good way to tighten things up and get it back together again and do what needs to be done. So just know that the images you see is the best that I can do and as realistic as I can do. And Lord Gregor and I have this pact, and I hope he's watching. I don't know if he is or not, but he will be. But Lord Gregor and I have this pact, and it was right from the beginning, even before we got together, that I could use his avatar. At first he wouldn't even let me do his voice. So some of the videos, it may not even sound like him, and it doesn't. But then he allowed me to use his voice, but he just wants some privacy. And I, after seeing some crime cases, I agree. And I know that you understand too. So thank you so much. And hold on. Deborah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys are so kind. Thank you, thank you. So anyway, the horses were okay. I mean, you know, they're used to the cold, winter, everything is fine. But of course, you can't let this stuff leak and water because it molds and it's on rock and stone and all that other stuff. So someone asked me the other day, and I think this is funny, what does Lord Gregor wear when he's doing repairs? Well, let me say, Lord Gregor, I've never seen in a pair of jeans, and I won't. Never in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. He'll wear something like an olive drab army type that has a lot of pockets so he can keep things in. But I told him tonight, because he was like, oh, I can't do, and I said, don't worry, I'm going to go on, because I want to tell everybody what's going on. I mean, far be it from me to come between me and a man and his hammer, right? So, all right, so we have a question, my darling. All righty, Carrie. I have a question. I probably have an answer, my darling. We know how Lord Gregor travels. How long will it take you to get to Vale Keep? There's 3 stops that I've got to make. So it's going to be probably between 14 and 16 hours before I arrive. I told him, I said, you could be a real chum and fly me private. I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, my darling, there we go. Aunt BB, hello, my darling. I hope Sadie is okay. You know, even if you purchase an older home, problems do arise that are more costly than a newer home. That's absolutely true. So he's doing, Vespora is a Frisian. I think that's what it is. I think. Oh no. Oh, what is she? I know Lunara is a dapple gray, but Vespara is like a Frisian. Captain Harris, we talked about this. I can't even remember what Vespara is. Anyway, yeah, that's a long flight because I've got to make a few stopovers and then one of his people will meet me and drive the rest of the way. So there we are. Thank you, Angie. Thank you. He is a gentleman, 100%, Terry, 100%. And for those of you women, and let me just say this, cheers. Thank you, Captain Harris, to my rescue. Percheron. Vespera is a Percheron, and Vespera is to him like this one is to me. Protective, can be a mean little squirt, unless he is around. Lunara is my girl. She will be the girl that I ride. I will never move there permanently. If that, Karen, he will never move here permanently, and I will never move there permanently. And that was our agreement, and it works because we both have our own lives and we both have so much is going on, but we know we both have a place with each other. And he has a place with me wherever I'm going to end up here, and I have a place there with him. And that's what really we've been both striving for. So that works. That was, I don't know who that was, if that was Shaggy or not. Shaggy loves Captain Harris. Shaggy Noodle. So anyway, my darlings, so he's been working, and I think right now, and I can't think of them being on top of that guardhouse. That thing is up there, and it doesn't bother him. I would be physically yakking. So, and I knew, where's Vale? Vale Keep is in Europe. I cannot give you the exact location, but he is at the gate, what they call the gate of the Carpathian Arc, the Carpathian Mountains, right in that. That's right, they are draft horses. She's big. Vespara, oh, she's a big girl. She's huge. And of course, Lord Gregor is 6'3", and any other horse he would make look small. She is, I'll tell you what, if you see Poldark, that is on, I think Poldark now is on Netflix. If you watch Poldark, that horse that Poldark has, that all black, that is Vespera. She's gorgeous. Yeah, and you know what, Carrie, that's right. Distance makes the heart grow. Because you know what, every time we talk, every time we're together, every time, we'll never stop learning about each other. And he's so supportive of me. He's so supportive. Will I do my channel while I'm there? Yes. Yes. There's a small area there where I will be able to get some type of internet. Hopefully, though, I can run StreamYard. If I can't, I can't. I'll try, but I still will be able to post because he can call out on Zoom to me if he sits still. There's so much limestone and stone and all that other, but hey, that's the way it is. So thank you for that. Thank you for that question. Now I'm going to be excited. Oh my goodness, Darlene, 4'10" and your husband is 6'3". See, I'm 5'10", and I think he is just a little taller than what we say. And he'll wear a riding boot when he comes here, or he'll wear like it almost looks like a construction boot, and they've got a little bit of heel. So I mean, he's like, hello. When I first saw how tall he was, tell me about it. Okay, so I am very stuck on him. I can tell you that right now. So I have some things to show you. Thank you so much. I have some things to show you. I've been a busy girl. Before we get into the drawing of the Catacomb cards, yeah, dated 6/5 Wafe, right? Right? See, opposites attract. So, oh, Darlene, there you go. All right, so I want to show you some designs that Lord Gregor, I don't want to say he's allowing me, but there's a certain historical, I don't want to say society there, but it has to be in keeping with the keep. Like we have a National Historical Society here. It has to be, I can't go in there and make it contemporary, and I would never think about that anyway. So anyway, here we are. So let me see. The first thing that I want to show you is the official fabric that will be used in Vale Keep after the renovation when things start coming. Okay, this is it. I have designed it. The mister has approved it, and this is it. It is called the Vale Shield. That is called the Vale Shield of Vale Keep. And all of these, Lord Gregor is having his artisans in Vienna craft. So I will have hundreds of yards of this fabric to be using. So there we go. Pardon me. And then next off, pardon me, is the damask companion to that. So there's got to be two. Oh yeah, he gives me creative control, and I'm like, sit down, buddy. I'm on it. This is my thing. Sit down, pal. I'm here. Call me here or there. Okay, so that's that. Now, I will have those two in my chamber and in my room, plus I will have this. This is one of my favorite fabrics because the colors of Vale Keep are kind of a beige, like the beige stone, and then forest green. And the only way I can describe the purple is elderberry. That's it. It's an elderberry color that is so gorgeous, and I just love it. So then we have the official monogram. This is it, of Vale Keep. So that will be embroidered on a lot of the guest room linens, like pillowcases and that sort of thing. So that's what's going to be there. Then I have a personal monogram that will go on in my chamber, in my room, and it looks like this. It's just very clean. That's what I want. It's just very clean. And that will go on some of my clothing. In fact, on my wrist, like on a cuff of I have a kind of a, it's not a sweatshirt, it's like a long sleeve t-shirt, but the cuff is stretchy. It will go on my cuff right above the cuff, on the left hand side. And those will go on some of my clothing. And if I have like a vest or something that I'm wearing, it will either go on the left point of the lapel or on the left between the shoulder, right, probably right around in here. It will go. So thank you very much for that. And this is, I'm really excited about. This is, let me show you this. This is what is called a book plate. Libri is Latin for from the library of Vale Keep. Now, this is something, a book plate goes in the front cover of the of a book. On the front, when you open it up, it will be in there. It is actually glued. A lot of the books, because I am the sworn chronicler of Vale Keep, I'm going to be keeping all the journals and so forth. So when I go there, I got a job to do. And I'm going to start taking inventory of the library, because during this renovation, they certainly don't want to be taking all these books off the shelves and not knowing what they're going to be doing. So Mama Z will be there to boss, and I will be the boss of the applesauce. So that's good too. I love embroidery. I'm going to try to embroider a couple of these designs just to practice, because I've got to have some, and I got to be ready for June. Because when I go there, I'm going to be meeting people. I'm going to be meeting staff. He's going to have a whole staff when I'm there, and they'll start preparing things in May for me. So I love it. I love it a lot. And then this is the last thing. There is an old stamp, and a lot of homes and what they call houses in Europe will use what they call a mark. And like if you see old documents or something, there's a stamp that's like a mark. Well, there was one that Lord Gregor has in his library, in the Grand Library, that he found, and he was going to bring it to me, and it fell apart. It's that old. So we replicated it, and this is the official mark that will go on documents and in the journal that I keep. So when I go there, I will be chronicling, and anything official, like the proclamation that he and I have, will be stamped, put in there, and that way people know that it's official. So there we go. So now, listen, as much as I want to see him in Vale Keep, guess where I'm going to be? Because I'm not going to be cooking while I'm there. He's going to have people there. So I'm going to be either in my chamber, on horseback, or in the library. And he's going to be there too. His staff is not immortals, no. His steward's wife is a little, she's not afraid of him. But she really cares about him. She just has a, and I've seen both of, he has a steward and his wife that are there with him all the time. And they live in a home that's close to Vale Haven. Now, the whole thing is this. The house itself is called House of Vale Keep, but the grounds is called Vale Haven. And technically, his mother was the Lady of Vale Haven. I am the second Lady of Vale Haven. So that means, I don't know what it means. It's that, and $1.25 might get you something at the dollar store. It doesn't matter, but one thing I'm going to tell you that I'm very happy about is that it is not pomp and circumstance like the British houses. It's not Downton Abbey. It's not that. It's more noble gentleman And believe me, there's things that you do. I mean, you know when to call it supper or you know when to call it dinner. What are we doing here, ma'am? Are you going to say hello to people? Come here and look. You going to say, looky? No? Okay. She's mad about something. So there's certain attire that I have to wear. I cannot wear a shirt like this. Get down, sister. I cannot wear a shirt like this. See, this has got him on it. This is part of our, it was a part of our merchandise, but this is a sample and I don't like it. So anyway, I'll never come out of that library. I'll tell you why. There's documented history in that library that probably we're not supposed to know. You know how they, do you know how they change things to suit people? Well, guess what? Life hasn't changed. In 1,000 years, he estimates the keep is probably about 600, 700 years old. And they have added on and you know, some of the add-ons and whatever. As time evolved, they added on. Yeah, Sammy, listen, she's been uphill. So anyway, it's old, but he does a lot of the repairs, or he hires the repairs, and he's like a monkey. He's all over that place. And during our phone calls, like what we have, where it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, his private study is about the size of this, and he has what he calls a pallet, but it's a bed in there for him, and a bigger fireplace than this. He's got a desk. He's got a window, but it's not like this. You can open that window. And I can tell you, he's in there. But if there's something going on, he'll take me right with him. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. And the night that he gave me I guess it's called an engagement ring. The night that he gave me that, when all of you saw that, we call it the night of our ring. That man, you talk about adrenaline. I was up for 5 hours after the stream. He was taking me all over. Look at this, look at this, look at this wall, look at this, look at this. And by the way, for any of you who wonder, I still hear that woman, that yell on the phone calls. We still hear it. Here's a good question from the Lantern Keeper. He did not grow up there. He decided on immortality when he was 19. Now, immortality doesn't mean he's going to live forever and ever and ever. He's not a vampire. He's not, he's not going to do that. He will pass one day. Think of him almost as Moses. That's what I have to tell him. Hello, my darlings. Think of him almost as Moses. And the fact that Vale Keep is high in the elevation, they're closer to the Vale. He eats clean. His idea of fast food is a piece of homemade bread and butter. That's his fast food. It depends on when he stops aging. I don't know, but he didn't grow up there. He went back to Vale Keep when he was in his late 20s when his father passed away, and he became the legal steward of Vale Keep. So that's when he went. So yeah. Oh yeah, that diary that he sent me. Becoming an immortal is not anything that it's just you wake up one day and do. I mean, I couldn't do it. It just depends on the circumstances. His circumstances, were pretty dire when he was born. He was born redheaded, And back then, when he was born, it was one of those things about uh, red heads were an omen and not a good one back then. His father, if you're watching Lord Gregor, with all due respect, his father was politically weak and he wanted to make an impression on people. And when Lord Gregor was born, he had this red hair, and his mother told the midwife that when he cried, it was completely a different cry. There was something, and it scared the father. Back in those days, if a child was born not perfect and not a part of looking like the lineage, then they disposed of them. And I'm not even going to be saying that. It's not Nephilim DNA. No, it's not. He's not that. He's human. He's human. So it was his midwife, in which they called the Dedija, who took him. And they went with a group he went with a group of these people who raised children that were not perfect for the noble and the royal families. And when he was 19, when he was 19, it was a decision for him to make because he decided that that's what he wanted to do. He did have a sister. She married some aristocrat somewhere and died in childbirth. And so he has no family left. And that's, so he decided that this is what he wanted. And he was looking, and when he found me, I guess the rest is history. And that was almost 3 years ago. So there we are. So I wouldn't want to live forever either. I mean, I want you to think about this. Now, he's fine because this has been a part of his life. And he's had people around him who has truly loved him. But you see, and this is why he's been so stoic. And when I first met him, just dry, just wouldn't laugh. And now I think most of you can see he's starting to chuckle. He's starting to smile again. And quite frankly, I think all of this, and it's not me, but it's the idea of feeling like he's got something and someone. This has given him the life and ability to want to do this. He should have done this renovation a long time ago, and he didn't. But that's okay. So now he's got this, and you know what? I have it with him. I want to see it. Now, this will probably take years to do. It'll probably outlive me, probably, but that's okay. I want to be a part of it. And I'm going to, he was fostered. And when he was old enough, he chose to do, yes, that's exactly right. When he was 19 is when he went to the Poenari Castle. I think that's how you say that. That was the real Dracula's castle where he fought the Ottoman army. And it was after Dracula had passed away, had died. Because there was someone from a regiment, and he was in some army, and there was someone who got lost. And he was sent there to find him. Never did retrieve him because there's too many things going on. And by the way, yeah, he did wait for me. I tell him that anyway. He kind of grins. I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. But we both have good reasons now for everything. But the one thing I want to tell you before I forget, in November, I think it was November 23rd, if I'm correct, there was a gentleman, a young man from the UK who was a student who was going hiking and backpacking near the Dracula's castle, not the one in Ponari, but the one in Transylvania and Romania, and got lost. He's 18 years old. He's still lost. When Lord Gregor traveled in December to pick up the painting for me, I told him, I said, is there any way that you can look for him? And he said, no, but if I run into anything, I will do that. So here's the thing. I don't want to say, he's kind of like me. You don't insert yourself. Just like on the Nancy Guthrie case, people are saying, you need to make some phone calls. You need to make, no, I don't do any missing case. I don't assert myself. And Lord Gregor is the same thing. So I told him, I said, if you run into anything, even an entity, a watcher, something like that, that can give you an idea of where this young man is, please let us know. I get updates on that man every day. And so that is something that I want everybody to think about, because his mother, this young man's mother, he's only 18, has been there since November. And there have been nothing but landslides and avalanche. That area right around him, that is treacherous country. Why anyone would want to be hiking is beyond me. Look who's back. This is Sammy of Vale Keep. And why that would happen, I don't know. But anyway, so that's, yeah. So I think we both have a purpose, because you know me, those who have been here, I certainly didn't want anything to do with anybody. And if something would happen, and that's my son, he is playing Resident Evil in a tournament. He says hello to everybody. But if something would ever happen, which I don't think it's going to, but if something would ever happen, no, because I'm spoiled with Lord Gregor. I'm spoiled with him. He's so good and kind to me. In fact, he took a picture of I don't know what she is. She's my ancestor, Countess Elisabetta, and this is how she looks right now. That's her, isn't she? Oh, I just love this. The frame is going to be changed, because that frame is not period correct for her. That period was changed, but she has water damage, and the people that are restoring her still has her. But he is making me, his grace, your grace, my grace, whoever, Lord Gregor, is making me some artist proofs that I can use in my home when I decide. We haven't decided where I'm going to move yet. So anyway. Well, he is writing a book. We're almost done with it. Thank you, Aunt BB. We're almost done with it. In fact, let me see if I can pull up. I'm going to show you the cover of his book, if I can find it. Where are you? Hello. Nothing like being prepared. I'll tell you what, it is total Mercury retrograde today, because I'm telling you, in that one video that I made, dear God in heaven, I couldn't even get out my words. I was stumbling, and I just thought, oh, what the heck? Everybody knows they're going to be laughing at anyway, so who cares? I should have got this before, but it is stunning. It's that beautiful, the cover. And I'll find it one of these days and post it. I'll find it, because I don't want to take up your time in looking for it. But it is, well, maybe I could search this way. If I could spell, I could. Where are you? Maybe if I looked in the right section, it would be okay. The name of it, I can't find it. I'll show you. The name of it is Immortal Principles for Mortal Living. I'll tell you what, I learned so much from him even now. Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people say that, but if you saw my brothers, if you saw my aunt, the one that had the journal about my Lady Ottilie von Görlitz, there is an uncanny there's an uncanny resemblance through my whole family. My Aunt Frida, the one that had the journal that had the ring in it, and it was a ring similar to this one, as my cousin said. When my cousin saw me, she said, "Oh my God, you look like my mom's sister." So we have a very strong family. My brothers, and even in my bio dad. So, I mean, the whole lineage has this very strong rooted whatever. So thank you so much. Okay, so now, you know what I guess it's time to do? I've shown you all the goodies, I think. Hi, New York. Hello, my darlings. Hello. And I'm sorry to get you up, sister, but you're going to have to go down and sit. It's funny because when he's here, I call myself mommy to these guys. I'll say, "Oh, mommy loves you," whatever. And he just kind of gives me that little furrowed brow thing that he does. And that's right, sissy. And he'll say, "Valiana?" And it's like he tries to figure me out, and he will never. All right, time for you to go down. We got some business to take care of. This is why you're all here. I want to show you this is the last Catacombs card. And I'm moving my keyboard right now. And Mrs. Marie, if you are watching, hello. And don't look at my dirty desk. Let me see. I have to put some things out here. Oh, pardon me just a second. Sissy? And I want to say to all of you who bought me some things, I don't know where the gift tags are. So if you bought me paper and more totes and all that, thank you. Thank you. Blessings to you. All right, so here we go. And the last time we visited, I'm going to put this up here right now. Move my camera a little. Here we go, my darlings. Here we go. It's not really triggering. It's just that, he's not been around female. And so here we go. And who knows? All right, so there we are. Let me make this a little bigger so you can see. The last time you visited me, this was a sketch of a catacomb card. And I decided not to do that. I decided not to use this one. So we're going to start over. And he gave me an image. Sister, you're going to sit over there. He gave me an image. It's a real one. I can't show it to you. But all of the images in the Catacombs cards, you are going to see those are I'm sorry to make noises. These are the pencils that I use when I'm drawing. I really like them. They are premium. And it just, pardon me, they hold their shape when I'm drawing. So what I like to do, first of all, I like hearing, he liked hearing the two. He doesn't understand video games. They're too real. Okay. You see what I'm going to do, because this will be the size of the card that they are on, but I'm going to make it a little bigger and then I can reduce it. So I have to turn a little bit. So pardon me, I'm not turning my back on you, but I have to turn a little bit here to make sure this looks good. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, and it may be a little crooked on the page, but that's okay. As long as we know what we're doing, that's all a part of it. And don't ask me, it is Mercury retrograde, so do I know what I'm doing? No. Not today. Not today. So what I do, my darlings, and I'll give you a little hint. When Lord Gregor travels, you can almost hear a very small clap of thunder. I knew when he was here, when he came here that day. And I went outside and was looking around. He goes, oh my gosh, and all of a sudden he disappears. Like, oh, hello, stranger, how are you? All right, there we go. Now that's what I'm going to be working with. Oh, and let me show you this. This is what he bought me. This is the stamp. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it. Now, in a lot of noble houses, you have different colors. I bought these ink pads. No, ma'am. No, hands out. And you have different colors here of the ink pads. A lot, historically, they were either green or they were kind of sort of brown like this. So what I do is I like these darker green colors. So this is right side up. So it's a kind of a variegate, so whatever the name is. And then we're just going to go ahead and stamp this because that's what I like to do. There we go. Thank you for the use of thy power. All right. So that makes it official. So when I showed these to Lord Gregor, the images, he's like, get him up, get him up, get him up. So I'm going to tell you, if you're here, Mrs. Marie, if you can, say a little something in the chat, because we're going to have a contest. We're going to have a little contest, and it's going to be about the Catacomb cards. And I'll tell you all about that. We'll put the iron there. I'll tell you all about that on Saturday night when I see you. Okay, so now here's what I'm going to do. This image is a little dark on the side, and let me tell you about the catacombs. No, Sam. Sorry. Oh, ma'am. Let me tell you about the catacombs. Excuse me. Can I draw with you? Maybe. The catacombs have these dark things within them. And it's very psychological. And when I made the cards, I kept some of the elements, and some of the elements are too dark. I'm not keeping them. This I especially like. Don't ask me why, but I do. So this one, so what I've done, and what I want to do on the other ones is I'm going to make this right here. Now this isn't going to be, I'm going to put it into my, yes, she is reaching for him. She's a little turd. She stomps. I wish you could hear her stomp. Okay. I've put a border on these. And that way, and that's not correct, I know, but that gives me a space to draw in. All right. And we're getting started. All right, so here we go. Now in the catacombs, it's limestone. Weird. I got to change this perspective because I feel like I'm not even looking at anybody. Here we go. There we are. I know Sammy is just being she's something else. She is the boss of the applesauce for sure. Okay, let me see if you can see. Can you see that better? The light might be a little better. All right, so I have this picture here, and I'm going to start with the outer perimeters first of this. And that just gives me the better perspective. And here we go, right here. And praying to God that my program will help me make this a little bit better looking. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here. This is kind of weird. I'm going to use this. So this is kind of, it's got a weird inner, this is like an inner area right here. And believe me, when you see these, and when I preview them on Saturday night, you'll know exactly what these are, when they are, okay? Now, I've got to create a perspective here. And like I said, this isn't like, I'm certainly not a professional, and I depend on my programs. Oh, look at that, hello. Don't look, Lord Gregor. Okay, so I depend on my programs to make it look good. Okay. And now we have an outer one. I think you'll see it coming together here pretty soon. I hope so. If not, I quit. Right? Hello. Get, Sam. I don't have anything. Thank you. Thank you, Angel. No. All right. If we get unplugged, you know who the culprit is. I need to switch this around. Guess who that was? Guess who did that? Okay. All right. Thank you, Sammy. Okay, so honey, Aunt BB, I'll tell you what. When I first met him and he said, "Oh, can you draw this?" And I'm oh, sure. It got to the point where I wanted to say, "Oh yeah, I can draw flies." That's about as much as I can do. All right, so now this one comes around like this. This is a weird card. Sister, ma'am, you want that? You can have that. Okay, so now I'll use this. There is a stand, a column here. He does not know how old this is, by the way. And I wish I did. This here, and it goes back like this, back like this. But we're going to have this contest, and I'm so excited. And that is through True Oracle. The book will be sold through True Oracle, and let me just tell you this. I know that Paul, right? When I got, right, Darlene? When I get to Vale Keep, I will be releasing an ebook called Lady Zelda Cooks from the Hearth, as in Hearth. And it will have my bread recipes, and it will have I'm going to be going through the books of the hearth. They don't call it a kitchen, it's a hearth. I'm going to be going through those books, and I'm going to be putting some of those recipes, if they make sense. Because, some of these old recipes, you know, and don't worry, it's not eye of a newt or any of that stuff, but God, who knows. And all the man eats is bread. Bread. He loves homemade bread. That's what he's going to get. Homemade bread and roasted vegetables. So here we go. Now this is kind of odd. Disclaimer here. And we don't know who this is. And he's lopsided already. Huh? He's lopsided already. Oh, dear God. Well, we're going to shade him there. How's that? We'll just shade him there. And then he comes in like this. The features on this are so sharp. Now, and yes, this is a real skull in the catacombs. His nose looks like I don't know what the heck. Gosh, doesn't that look like the... Oops. This looks like the old Phantom of the Opera. I better fix him up a minute here. Okay, so he's got dark eyes that don't look happy. I suppose they're not. He's been sitting there for 100 years. I think I need a new pencil. All right. So we're going to outline this and help him. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's what happens when my pencil is too soft. All right, so then comes around here. I guess that is a little sharp here. We'll make that part of him. How's that? Well, oh God, I hope my program can help me here. I'm not good at drawing faces. I need help. Well, not skulls. But this is a skull. I hope you're not looking, Lord Gregor. This will be fixed. This will be fixed. And we're gonna shade him out here. Yeah, okay. This was the Halloween mask that he wore. No. All right, anyway, you get the point. There's a skull here. Well, yeah, Aunt BB, because you know what, my darling? When he looks like he's got a toupee on, you know what? Let's make him have a toupee. The card won't, but there's a toupee. There. So I probably should have not saved this one to the last, because he really doesn't look scary. If I ran into him, I'd be on the floor laughing and saying, "Who are you?" and "What have you?" You know, whatever. So anyway, but when he was here, now he has a toupee. So when the Mister was here, that's all I fixed. He didn't want anything else. He didn't want a thing else. So we ate like that. And I'll tell you what, when he left, I turned into, that's right. Oh, the Mexican saint. That's who that looks like, Jane. Oh, I'm cracking myself up. But I'm going to tell you what, when he left, I turned into Mrs. Carbalot. I needed some cards. And I didn't lose any weight because, my darlings, I was baking 4 to 5 loaves of bread every 2 days. Every time I looked at that man, he had a piece of bread with butter slapped on it. And I thought, bless his heart. Because the lady that works there for him doesn't, she only bakes a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 loaves a week. And that doesn't sustain him. That does not sustain him at all. So he needs more than that. And I'll bake him whatever he wants. So, and I would put like Swiss cheese or meat or something in it. Yeah, the column looks pretty good. I don't have enough. Let me see. I gotta fix this face. We're gonna shade him all out here. He looks mean. He looks weird now, though. He's got a toupee. We need to name him. What is his name? What is the name? Let's. We'll give him a shadow back here. He needs lots of shadow. Dark shadows. Let's call him Barnabas. Homemade butter. Oh, my darlings. I was making butter. I felt like I was Little House on the Prairie. I was making butter and churning and doing all kinds of things. I don't think this guy's fixable, but we're going to try. Oh, now he looks like an alien. We're going to just call him Barnabas. There. Okay, whatever. Thank you. I'm calling Barnabas. Oh, good, Nanette. Okay, so it was bread and butter. I would make a big crock. I would buy two half gallons of cream. And you know, you don't really get that much butter out of that. But I would make that. Dear God. Oh, Filiana, you made the butter. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so this is a mystery. Oh God. Hey, Brennan. It's a test pilot. Yeah. If you see this, my darling Lord Gregor, I promise he's probably laughing. I know he's probably laughing. But here's the weird thing. In this limestone, there's carved, I mean, some of these carvings in this limestone is just is bizarre. But you'll see Barnabas as finished, because I'm going to finish him tonight. I'll put him in the program and say, all right, put a skull. We need to paste a skull on Barnabas. But this is like weird. And it's very shadowed. And then this is stacked right here. Now, this is my design. These are all stacked. This is my design because I'm going to add a border on here. And just a pretty, probably something viney to make it pretty. You know, you can't have a skull without it looking pretty, right? Got to have a skull. Hello. He's the crash dummy. I am never, listen, how can I read these cards? I'm going to be reading them, and then every time that I come on here, every time that I'm reading the cards and I see this one, Barnabas. His last name is not Collins, but we're going to say Barnabas of Vale Keep. But here's the mystery, and this is the mystery. Here's the mystery. There are candles that are lit in the catacombs, and Lord Gregor doesn't know how they get lit, and he doesn't know how they stay lit, and he doesn't know, because he knows that there's, I don't know, things that live down there. So there are candles in front of Barnabas here, and they look like they're fresh candles. They're lit, And many and some of the images, I'm going to be laughing, my cookie. You're right. I'm going to be laughing so hard. How can I get through reading? I may have to take this card out. Oh, hi. Oh, Deborah, my darling. Oh, we need to have you, we need to fill you in. How do we fill you in? Because I don't want to keep going over the story. Hi, Standing Stones. Hello. Hello, hello. Meet Barnabas, the weird skull. How could you be afraid of him? If he came out and said, stay away from the catacombs, this is your inner self, you would, I would look at him and say, right, with a face like that, pal. But here's the thing. I'm also have made a companion ebook to go with these. So they're going to be all brand new images and everything else. Okay, I'm going to give all of you, because I love you here, and I don't want you to feel left out. If you know me, you probably do from my channel, seeing I'm Lady Zelda. I met this man. He's looking for bread. That's right, Teresa. Where's my bread? Okay, I want to get through this story for these lovely people that are here because I want them to stay and enjoy this. I met this man. Oh, I'm so glad. Standing Stones. Okay, I met this gentleman while I was looking for content for my own, because you know, I always have these Help I'm Haunted and let's talk about all kinds of different entities and Bigfoots and UFOs and vampires and everything else. So I was on that side of Talkie Tick about 3 years ago, 2 3/4 years ago. And there was a gentleman who sent me messages. And like anything, I just brushed him off. I didn't even, okay, make the eye sockets a little bigger. Oh, Lord. Okay. So I didn't pay attention to him because, we were on another platform. Oh, he looks like he's beady-eyed now. So he looks like, I don't know. I'm gonna do my best here. I promise he will look beautiful when you see him. But this man kept, and he wasn't very persistent, and he wasn't mean, and he didn't come off like one of those masher guys. And it was just, hello, Lady Zelda. I would like to talk to you about your ancestry. Now, that wasn't like the normal, hey, baby, how you doing, beautiful? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, look at this. There. That's him with a toupee. So, yeah, imagine the catacombs. Hello, everyone, and welcome. So, after 3 months, it was one of those nights that I was sitting with my phone, does Jesus eat a grilled cheese? And what is the body temperature of a baby orangutan type stuff, that 3 a.m. stuff. I get this message. Hello, Lady Zelda. I would really like to speak to you about your ancestry. Now, at that time, I knew about Lady Ottilie von Görlitz, who is my ancestor, but that's about all I knew. He looks hungry. He does look hungry. He's skin and bones. I need to bake him some bread. I'm sorry. Okay. So I said, I said, hello, I don't know who you are, but what is it exactly that you would like to talk about? And he said, I don't mean to take much of your time. And the moment that he said that, you know who I thought of? Was Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice. That just came over my brain. And I thought, oh, I'm intrigued. So we started talking, and he started telling me that who he thought my ancestors were. And, intriguing, because that's the side of me. And hello, love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl with me to begin with. And, I live this life of not crystals, but, oh, there's an energy boost over here. I better, da-da. So he was very kind, very knowledgeable, and said, would it be okay with you if, and somebody just told me to do this, and I better. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So he told me, he said, whenever you'd like to talk, I would really like to talk with you again. So this just kept continuing. And pretty soon it became 2 or 3 times a week. And he was so interesting. I would ask him about things like on the mystery level, about vampires. And you know what? I thought he was a vampire, because that's what I was looking for, because it was almost Halloween and I wanted to get somebody on my channel, or I wanted to get some info so I could share. I mean, you guys, you know me. Hello. There's more to life than just living in a world that is just blah, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. I thought he was a vampire. So I started asking him all these questions. What about this? What about that? What about this? And he would answer them. So I just thought he would. I just thought he was. And I came on my channel and said, hey, I met this vampire. He's nice looking. I'm going to see if he'll come on my channel. And then he said, well, instead of me coming on, why don't you, because he made this channel, he had his steward help him. He never had a phone before because he didn't need one. And he was borrowing the iPhone of his steward. And his steward was getting kind of ticked because at this point, Lord Gregor was on his phone more than the steward was. And finally the steward went to him and said, hello, boss. Would it be okay if I went into town and got you another phone? And I told him, I said, you better do that. You don't want a man's phone. You don't want to do that. What if his wife needed to get in touch with him? So he did. So the deal was, I was supposed to be coming on this channel so he could interview me as a psychic. And I said, okay. And I even made a trailer for it. And then it just kind of fizzled. And I thought, okay, maybe there's something wrong. And I said, based on some of the information that you gave me, would it be okay with you if I made a little bit of content? And then I had to explain to him what the heck content was. And I had to explain to him what this whole YouTube social media thing, because he was on the talkie tick, which is like toilet. And, well, I'm on it too. Hello. Anyway, so he's like, oh, yeah, that's okay if you don't use my image. And I said, well, how could I use your image? I don't know what you look like. And I said, which brings me to the next point. I need a Zoom call with you because I don't know who you are. And I want a video call. And we're not going to call anymore until I have that. And he said, how do I do it? So I told him, and I'm thinking, how could somebody be so dumb? I hope you're not listening, Lord Gregor, because I thought, how could somebody be as dumb as a box of rocks in this age? So he said, okay, when do you want to do this? And I said, why don't we do it tomorrow night? That gives you time, gives me time. We'll do it same place, same station, right? Same time, same place. Let's meet back here tomorrow night, and then you can see me and I can see you, because I need to know that you are real. And I was thinking, I need to see if you got fangs, pal. So the next night came, and I'm on there, and I see him. He's trying to get, he didn't know anything about cameras, and I was like, "Hello, look in the camera, look in the, da, 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 da." And finally, he sees me, and he's like, "Oh, is that you?" And I said, "Yes, is that you?" And he said, "Yes." And there's this man, chiseled, looking beautiful, flame red hair. And I thought, okay. In the background, similar to like this, because he was in his study. But my darlings, he wore this brocade jacket and this beautiful, now, military men call it a blouse. Even to this day, I was married a half a century ago to, not that long, but to a naval officer, and you have a specific attire, and one of it, you call it a blouse. So he had his blouse, military looking, and I'm thinking, and my mind is going 15,000 miles an hour. They say you have 72,000 thoughts per minute. I was using up all 72,000 because I kept thinking, who is this guy? I didn't ask. So, oh my God, you know what? I just looked at the screen. He looks like he's in a baby car seat. I am never going to be able to use this card without laughing. Oh, you guys are going to have to watch these readings. I'm going to tell you, because I just looked at him. Holy moly, Zelda. What? Okay. I may have to just, you know what I'm going to do? I can't, this is an embarrassment. We're just going to take him off of there. He belongs here in this space, and that's what I'm going to do right there. And I'll insert the proper skull, but I can't look at him like that. Now he's got a shadow look through here. That's spooky. Okay, so anyway, it's not really respectful and proper to look at somebody and say, "Oh, by the way, are you a vampire? Do you belong to the dead that walk at night?" You know me. I'm theatrical enough that I'm thinking, how do I do this? How do I do this? So he says, we're talking about things. And he was just staring at me, and I'm just staring at him. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is a green screen, because my darlings, look, that's a green screen. And I'm thinking, maybe this is a green screen. And I said, I've got a question. I hear a fireplace. Would you mind getting up and walking me to the fireplace? Well, instead of, he left his phone because he had it propped up. He left his phone and he himself walked to the fireplace. And when I saw him, I'm thinking, vampires I did not think were in my future. But this one may have to be. All these things are going through my brain. So he comes back over and he goes, "Oh yeah, I needed to check the fire anyway." He had no idea. 2 and 2 did just not even pop into his brain. So anyway, he says, he's asking me. And I'm sitting there in my bed thinking, I was fully dressed. He was fully dressed. I'm sitting there on my bed and I'm thinking, oh, my background certainly doesn't look as good. And of course, I'm sprinkled with cats, furry people all around me. And he said, "Do you like animals?" And I said, "Yes." it's obvious. And we just kind of started talking from there. And he didn't, and I wouldn't ask him. I wouldn't ask him because I'm very careful. Believe me, I have these clients who think they're talking to Julian Lennon and all these other people and everything else. And so I don't have time for that. I've been fooled too many times by the real. I didn't need to be in with a fakie. So finally, we started talking more, talking. But it was just the way he carried himself. It wasn't even, I mean, he had a nice shape. He looked good. He was fully dressed, but the way that he just carried himself. And by the way, the man doesn't go barefoot in the house. He has house shoes. And like, I'm barefoot now. Hello. In Vale Keep, you don't go, you got to have house shoes. Okay, I can muster that. No problem. But he was fully dressed. He looked like he was just getting back from the cotillion. So I didn't ask him anything because it's not proper. So then he said, do you mind if we talk tomorrow night? Now, this was almost 3 years ago. And I said, yeah, that'd be nice. So we talked, and he said, are you ready to turn your camera on? And I'm thinking, oh, God, because you know, ladies, his castle is in Europe, near the Šumava mountains. And I thought, oh, God, please don't show me anything, because that would ruin it for me. You know, it just really would. I mean, once that happens, a man is not good for anything else in my book, because that's all he wants to do is show you his wares, right? Not interested in that. Once you've seen them all, you've seen them all, and that's my philosophy from back then. So anyway, he says, why don't you want to turn your camera on? I'm like, yeah, fine. And he says, okay, I'll turn my camera on too. And there he was. Different brocade jacket, different, everything else. And it was in the summer, and I could see it was pretty warm, and he had the fire going. And I said, if you're too warm, it's quite all right if you want to remove your jacket. Oh no, I could never wear the Ugg slippers. I'd be thrown out of the top castle window. It has to be. If you would see his house shoes, it has to be. Believe me, I'll make sure that I look spiffy. And so he said, oh no, I can't. He said, no, I can't take my jacket off. I said, why not? And he said, it's just not proper. I'm talking to a lady. Okay. So that's basically, and the first time I saw him, he showed up, he had that, he was dressed, brocade, and I had my little shirt on with him. Hello. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and it was like, and then it was like, oh, let me hang on you. And we just both hung on to each other, which seemed like 2 days. We just hung on. We would sit down on the sofa, we would eat, we would talk, and I would fall asleep and lean on him on the sofa, and he would take care of the fire. And in fact, one night we even had JFK on, and he was so proud because I said hello to JFK, and JFK came over on the YouTube and said, oh, there's Lady Zelda. Hello, Lady Zelda. And everybody was saying hello. And I know a lot of you in here, Terry, Captain, a lot of you are in here like, Lady Zelda, hello. Da, da, da. And then there was another night with Calling All Beings. The same thing happened. And he was so proud. He said, oh, my goodness. They know you. That's so kind of them to do that. He just was so intrigued, and especially Calling All Beings. He watched with intrigue because that night, I believe they were talking about Bigfoot, Yeti, cryptids, UFOs, something, you know. Thank you, Standing Stones. And he was just so proud. So, anyway, as time went on, I started depending upon these calls, and he did too, because it was one of these things that, you know, and he would watch every one of my live streams. He would come in to the help me, I'm haunted. He would never say anything because he never knew how to comment. And still, I have to watch him. Aunt Phoebe knows. So finally, my darlings, he was watching, and we were talking about, you know, things that we like, things, and, you know, we're talking about, you know, he's telling me about, because he deals in relics and in art, and he deals in a lot of these antiquities and all this other. He knows a lot of things. He's been a lot of places, and he's just like this encyclopedia of knowledge that I just want to soak up. I've learned so much about everything. And finally I said, you know, you never just did tell me about this vampiric. And he goes, what do you mean vampiric? And I said, well, I met you while I was looking for vampire content. I didn't want to say I thought you were a vampire. He knew I'd already thought it because he watched my show. And he said, Lady Zelda, I hope I'm not disappointing you, but I'm not a vampire. And I didn't know whether to be mad, happy. And I said, oh my goodness, why didn't you tell me? And he said, because a gentleman doesn't correct a lady. I said, so this whole entire time, I'm thinking that you're a vampire. Hello, look who's back. Oh, so make sure you stretch in front of the camera. That's nice. I'm glad they are seeing and watching this. So, ma'am. So anyway, he says, excuse me, let me get this person. Thank you. So anyway, look at the paw prints. She stepped on Barnabas. Ma'am, she just needs something to do. Do something cat worthy. Anyway, so we went through that, and then he starts telling me the story, his life story of being the red hair and the immortal, and when he was 19, and all of this, and then once again, okay, I got to hear more of this. Then he starts telling me about the ancestry of my family, of Lady Ottilie von Görlitz, and about this, and about that. And it's just like, oh my gosh. And about how he is Vale-born and I am Veldran. And that is like a Veldran is a European thing. So anyway, Smoky Mountain Knife Works relics. Listen, Lantern Keeper, I know Smoky Mountain Knife Works very well. Been there many, many times. So yes, she is leaving her mark. So anyway, fast forward, he was not a vampire. Everybody on the channel that did not hear the story was kind of freaking out. And then in December, and I think it was about December 6th, he started sending me things. And he said, I sent you something and I want you to open it. Pardon me, I want you to open it on camera. And I said, what is it? And he goes, oh no, you're just going to be fine, because a long time ago, he was telling me about these diamonds, pardon me, that he got, and where he was traveling somewhere. And I said, oh, I like pearls. I would prefer really not to have a diamond. And he goes, really? And I said, no, sometimes I think they're overrated. You know, you get to the point where you want them that big. You know, no, I would prefer to have pearls. I think they're elegant, and you can wear them with a t-shirt. And you can wear them. Wait, I need to auction this off with Sam on here and Barnabas. And I said, you can wear them with a t-shirt and jeans and look great. And I said, that used to be my little, I would wear a pearl necklace and a jacket, and I would have a very nice cotton, like a t-shirt underneath. And that's what I wore. And he said, really? That's something you don't like to. I said, no. I mean, I think they're beautiful, but I just wouldn't want just a diamond. I would want like a colored diamond or something that's unique. And he said, oh, okay. Well, then he sent me this ring. That right there. It is a forest agate. And it is cultivated close to where I like aquamarines too. That's my birthstone. But it's cultivated close to where the fortress is of Vale Keep, because there's a Vale Keep, and then there's an old fortress that's just abandoned and falling down and not worth saving. So I opened this ring, and I just thought it was a stone ring. I didn't know what it meant. And then he started to say, oh, can you tell me something? And everybody's in my chat going, oh my God, it's an engagement ring. It's an engagement ring. And I'm thinking, I am so embarrassed, because you know how that is. And then he started talking to me, and he's like, finally he said, oh yeah, I told Captain Harris, I got it. Listen, you're going to love this one. She and I are like Lucy and Ethel. If you know, you know. I called her and I said, oh my heck, I got this package. And she's like, oh, can you open it? And I said, I don't think I can. Not without knowing it. And I'm glad I didn't, because he had it wrapped a certain way, and then he had a ribbon wrapped around it. Yeah. If I would have opened it, that would have been, yeah. But she was like, you need to figure out a way to do this, and you just need to peek. And she told me, she said, it's a ring. I'm like, what? A ring for my nose? What type of ring? We don't, And then all of a sudden it was, tell me Valiana, because he starts calling me Valiana. He said, do I have your heart? And I thought, oh, crap. And then he said, I have another question. And everybody in the chat was, you could see everybody was just kind of taking their breath. I know all of you in here, you're just kind of taking a breath. And it was, yeah, that was wonderful when I opened that box, because I'm like, dumb. I really was. I was like, oh, that's nice. And I didn't put two and two together. You would think, but I didn't. I opened it up, and the first thing that I thought was that stone moved. Now, that was quite a night, all right. I thought that stone moved because it's got a lot of movement. It's got a lot of energy in it. And quite frankly, I think my readings have gotten better. So, wrapped it up. Oh yeah, Aunt BB. Let's see. Zelda, remember, he had that wrapped up 100 times in a box. Oh yeah. I think at that point he knew me, right? Melissa says that was quite a night. It was. It was a fun live stream. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. So anyway, that's so funny, Standing Stones. You're so funny. So anyway, we called that the Night of the Ring. And when I figured it out, I thought, oh, okay. And he said, there's one thing that I want to ask you. You call everyone else darling, and you've never called me that. Why? Well, for me, I mean, I don't call I do a lot of work in the financial field for a lot of people, and I don't call them darling. And I didn't think that he was like a business transaction, but, hello, Mr. Nobleman, darling. I out of respect, it's because instead of darling, I started calling him Your Grace, because that's not real proper, but he allows me to get away with it because I tease him with it and he grins. So anyway, yeah, Captain Harris, here we go. Lady Zelda described the package. We spent hours guessing what was in there. That is absolutely true. She would text me and say, have you opened it yet? And I would say, no, I'm scared too. She's like, I think it's a ring. And I'm like, a ring for what? It's not a ring. Come on. Maybe it's a toad. Who knows? Who knows? Because he has never given a ring to another woman. He's never... So finally, I told him, I said, okay, I will put it on, but you better prove yourself. Because the moment that you don't, off it goes, because guess what? I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need to be I just don't need you. And prove himself he did. It was gift box after gift box, but it wasn't, these trips and jewels and all this. It was this key. And I love this key because he knows how I love iron. And this is a key to the fortress that is on the property. And look, you see how that is like, it's warped because it's been used. And a key will do that after it's, But I basically said, see, I wasn't looking when I found you, pal. I wasn't that bad. But pretty much I wasn't looking. And he's like, I know. But do I have your heart? How do you say no? So I said, okay, you got to work for it. And then it was that night after the live stream, I'm calling you. And we talked for 5 hours. He took me all through the keep, and I'm like, because I'm thinking, what have I gotten myself into? Because the first thing I'm thinking is, who cleans this joint? I'm certainly not going to come over and start cleaning. Who cleans? So, yeah, that's the key to his heart. Yes, the key to it is. But the reason he sent me this key is because some of my ancestors had passed through that area, and I'm to yet hear the story. But this is the key to the fortress of Vale Haven, is what that is. I've seen it once, and we made a video on it, 2 videos. So anyway, yes, this is now what this key means. He sent it to me. And my darlings, did you see the key move in my video from yesterday? If you haven't, you've got to see that, because the key at the 55-second mark, you don't have to watch long. I'm talking as usual. I'm talking, and the key, I had the key sitting over here, and this key moved. It went, and then it just kind of turned. And you could hear it in the video. I'm surprised I wasn't even here. I'm surprised I didn't even hear it. I was talking. So, my darlings, that's the story. And it kind of feels like the cross between Kate and Leopold and the Outlander and whatever. Pride and Prejudice. Colonel Brandon, he's my Colonel Brandon, and Faramir from Lord of the Rings. So he knows I like Faramir. So there's a black cat that roams Vale Keep. He doesn't even know where it came from. But it sits in the room that he said that I could have like a sitting room. It sits in there. So he calls it Faramir. So anyway, so we are writing some things We are writing some things. We're writing it all down. So then we decided we were going to wait till March. We were going to do it around my birthday. And then he went to the Carpathian Ark, and he had some business there. And then that's when he found that painting of a Countess Elisabetta. And I didn't talk with him for 5 days, and he didn't talk with me. He had his device, but I told him, I said, first of all, you're not going to be able to use it. Who the heck sits up in the Carpathian Ark using a cell phone? You're not going to be able to use it. And secondly, don't be turning it on and off and on and off and on and off, because you're going to wear the battery down. You need to plug that thing in, and it's cold, so you just don't, it's not even going to work right. So you're going to have to keep that really warm so it doesn't mess up. And then you can call me when you get there. Well, he didn't call me when he got there to wherever he was going, Bucharest or wherever it was. He didn't call me. He waited until he got back and texted me and said, I'm walking up to the keep. I'll call you when I get inside. So it was then that, thank you, Deborah. So it was then that he told me, he said, I've been thinking about this. Because he was approaching this as almost a, how do I want to say? Not business, but there wasn't really a lot of romance. There wasn't that, he would tell me that I looked beautiful or lovely or something like that, but it was very Mr. Darcy right in the beginning. And so, I just thought, well, if this is the way it is the way it is, I'm happy with the way it is. And then he calls me and says, I don't think we could wait. And then we had the podcast, the Christmas podcast. And I sang to him on the podcast. And I made this avatars of he and I and put a mistletoe, because I thought, look, if I'm going to get a ring from, I want to know what I'm in for. So I put a mistletoe and made us kiss on the avatar at the end. He absolutely flipped out. When I sang that Christmas song to him, greeting cards have all been sent, the Christmas rushes through, Merry Christmas, darling, because I had not called him darling. And you could hear him go, oh, Zelda. That did it. He called me that night and he said, okay. Why are we waiting? I said, I don't know about you, pal. I don't know. Why are we? You've got to make a good story. I don't know. So we decided Christmas evening at midnight, we took our vows. We made the proclamation. And that's when it happened. So we got together. You can say we got married on Christmas Day evening, December 25th. He did giggle. He did. That was the first time that I heard him. And I'm like, wait, what? What happened to this guy? Okay, so anyway, back to the drawing. That's where, so that's the story of he and I. And what are we? We'll go about another 10 minutes, my darling. And I want to thank you to each and every one of you. Hold on. I want to make sure that I have thanked everyone for all of your generosity. Somebody sent me a Venmo, and thank you so much. And I'll probably use it to get some DoorDash tonight. So thank you so much for doing that. I'll just admit to it. Thank you so much. He's going to be blown away. He's very humble, and he's very humble at a lot of people. I mean, when we make these Christmas Tide and the Resurrection Tide videos, I think he's going to cry half the time. Seriously. Thank you so much. Brooks was here. Well, Saturday night, I'm doing a live stream. Saturday night, live stream. We're going to talk about cases. We're going to talk about other things. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Thank you. I think it is a beautiful love story. But you know what? We don't tell each other that we love each other. Never said it to him. He's never said it to me. And you know what? I don't care. Because he proves it to me. I'm going to tell you, I've had these Shreks that have claimed their love. Oh, I love you so much until the moon falls from the sky, blah, blah. Oh, honey, you can't give me $10 for gas? He shows me. I think, and every now and then when he gets really emo, he'll, like when he was here, he said, I think I'm going to have to start saying some mortal words to you. And I said, well, as long as they are not, clean the bathroom, we're golden. Okay, so back to the drawing just a little bit. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you. Thank you. So here, okay, back to Barnabas and his child carrier. All right, so here's the weird thing. Oh, where did I put that picture? Shrek's. Oh yeah. Shrek is for sure. That's his philosophy. It's words. He's said, and he's very right, because I've caught myself, because how many times, I love I just love a grilled cheese sandwich. Oh, I just love those shoes. I love this nail polish. I love your hair. I love the glasses. And he basically says that those are words that are just it just doesn't make any sense. And I agree. I've come close a couple times. And I think and it's getting to that point. Yeah, I like grilled cheese. It's come close. We'll see. But you know what? It certainly is not a deal breaker. And Sam, you are very correct. Lord Greggor is very careful and intentional with it. He is. He says in 5 words what I bumble through for 5 minutes. He's so good. He's so good. He's seriously a good man. What can I say? Scrub-a-dub. That's right. Okay, so someone sent me, whoever sent me the Venmo, there's another one. Thank you. He's definitely an old soul. All right, so there are candles in the keep. We do not, and this is no story, and the picture that he sent me, the candles are lit. And as long as there's not a face on them, we're golden. And there's a little candle right here. So this, believe me, my darlings, yeah, Resurrection Tide we've not done every day just because of his schedule. But we need to get on it. We need to get on it. So I'm just going to do a little bit more work here, and then we're going to say goodnight to each and every one of you, because this has been, I love having a live stream like this, and I'll probably do it more often, but I'm going to also tell you on my channel, I'm going to add Help I'm Haunted series as well. Okay, so here we are. So this has a shadow, dark shadows with Barnabas. Well, I'm going to take him out of his baby carrier. And then this, it's shaded around here. And I do this just so I know. And it's very hard to draw with sister, but I have to. I have to because I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. So this is shaded. I know you're gonna love this. This card, but we're all gonna have a good laugh, aren't we? He uses beeswax candles because there's bee farmers all over Vale Haven. I don't know if he would use. Well, I can't say. I don't know. The farm, because see, Vale Haven is a big stretch and it includes villages and everything else. And these people lease farm land from him, and then in some of the payment, he gets the roast and he gets milk and cream and all that stuff, and they bring him things there daily, and it's just a really nice exchange. There's bees, they get honey, he gets candle wax, he gets whatever the case may be, and then he was telling me something. Oh, wool. He gets wool too from sheep. It is definitely old school. Tallow is, and I put tallow on my face. It's almost food grade, but I use tallow, and it's infused with lavender. Okay, so now, see, there's got to be some depth here, because I'm just real big on show me the depth. And there's a shadow here, and there's a shadow here. It'll come together, I promise. When you will find this one, when you see this, I need to use it on my hands because my hands are starting to look pretty funky cold Medina, if you know what I mean, in these videos. So there's some shadow here, shadow here. I'm going to show this to you guys Saturday night, and those, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. And this has shadow in it. It's going to take me a minute to get my program to do this correctly, but tomorrow is that day. Tomorrow is that day. Don't forget, we're going to have, these will go on sale Saturday, and I'll have the ebook. And wait till you see the ebook. It's as charming as can be. So this is kind of the way that they're going to look. They're all based on limestone. They are all based on, thank you so much. They are all based on the keep. And he doesn't know who goes down there. His steward doesn't know, and they're not going to go down there and find out. He says it's probably some monk or something that lives down there, and as long as because they can't get up to the main house through the keep. So he's not worried, because I told him, I said, oh my heck, what if I'm there and something comes up through there? These are the catacombs. These are the Catacomb Oracle cards. Approved by, they are not going to be black and white. They are going to be kind of a light beige. They're going to be light. They're not going to be like the Crime and Shadow. They're going to be light, beigey looking. They're going to be beautiful. They got a hint of color, but they're darker than ecru. They're more of a wheat color. So figure limestone and variation of limestone, because that's the colors of the catacombs down there. And then I've added a few little things to these. But yeah, this there are 3 pictures that he sent me, and I'm like, how did that get there? He said, I don't know. How did Barnabas get there? We don't know. I tried. There's a trick. Oh no, you can't do. There's a trick to tallow. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, my darling. Sam, the Southern Belle. I love it. I will be showing them live this Sunday. Saturday. Now, I'm going to be going live this Saturday night at 7, The following weekend, I will do the live instead of Saturday. I might do it on Saturday. I think I will. Never mind. Sunday is my birthday, and he's coming for my birthday. So I'll probably do the live on Saturday night. We'll have a little birthday shindig. So anyway, I am freaked out when he moved. Right? One of you dear hearts wrote me, you wrote me in the comment and said, did you see the key move? And I'm thinking, and then hello. No, I don't have, one day I will have a P.O. box, but right now there's none of that around me where I am, and I'm not going to get set up like that because who knows when I'm going to be moving, because I do want to move. And there's a little flyers. So anyway, my darlings, that's my futile attempt. At least this goes. Maybe I just need to auction this off and say, you know. But anyhow, that's the deal. Let me take this guy down here. There we are. So my darlings, I want to thank you so much for being here. This is so fun to be in Vale Keep, and we're going to keep this separate from my channel. And because of all of you, Lord Gregor is now monetized. I'm just going to say that. So I'm just thrilled for him. Well, I just wanted to prove it to him, right? I just wanted to prove it. It's not about making the money. I just wanted to prove it. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to have memberships because there's no reason for us to have a membership. We are going to have some merchandise, and you guys are going to love the merchandise. You're going to love it. And then I'm going to take his merchandise off my store in my channel. We're going to open a store for him. So that hopefully that will be this weekend as well. Good night, Darlene. Thanks for being here, my darling. So, and then that's it. Of course, we can do the supers. You guys have been sending them in. It's so kind and sweet of you to be here. Starting it out at 50. What's 50, my darling? Oh, auction? Oh, auction? This is so funny. Oh my goodness. $50 for this. Look at the paw prints on there from Sam. Thank you. Enjoy your story so much. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Yes, Captain Harris, it did. I'm going to tell you this. I want to thank you. I've had fun tonight doing this because I needed it. Nancy Guthrie case is like, I want to just take a breath. Right? I could sell it for real. Probably. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. But it is, I could probably sell it for real. I'll have to ask him. But I don't think he would care. But I needed this. I seriously needed this. Because, well, thank you. Brooks was here. I love that. Brooks was here because that's from the Shawshank Redemption. And that's my hometown. Not the prison. Okay. But I had a lot of fun, and thank you for allowing me to show you my artist skills. Aren't you impressed? But this is what I do. I'll sit here and I'll laugh at myself, and some of these turn out really, really good the first time, and some of them turn out like they look like a skull in a car seat. So what are you gonna do? But his name is Barmesis. Barnabas. Carrie, I know you would do a heck of a lot better than I did tonight on this. But see, you know what the problem is? I was talking. I was live and I was talking and I wasn't really paying attention. So, oh, Donna, thank you so much for being here, honey. Thank you, thank you. I'm so impressed. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't have a outro yet. I did the intro. Did you see the intro? Do you want to see the intro again? My son looked at me and said, Mom, you could do better. For that, I just might keep it. I'm going to play the intro so you all don't miss it. Here's the intro. Here's the intro. And here we go. I'm Lady Zelda. Welcome to Vale Keep. I kind of like that, actually. Oh, really? Oh, my heck. Hold on. Hold the phone. Carmen. The alarm went off at Nancy's house for a bit and then turned. See? You want to know why? Yeah, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I did that energy reading today and talked about Tesla, the pyramids, and Nancy. And we called in some energy. That I'm telling you, everyone today, mark my word, that house is emitting energy. That house needs some help. Thank you for telling us, because I had to just pluck myself out of this for a minute. Hi, Debbie. Yeah, we are live. Unfortunately, we're getting ready to say goodbye. Terry, you are prettier than that particular avatar. Well, you know what? Sometimes I'm going to have to work on that. Thank you. But, sometimes you can't get those things to. I sat here yesterday and today and basically told that whatever I used to animate, I said, aren't you supposed to be smarter than me? That's not happening. But it is seriously Mercury retrograde, and if you would have heard me, and that's probably why my drawing, if you would have heard me in that video today, I stumbled and stammered. It was bizarre, but I always do that. Mercury retrograde. So, oh, Debbie, it's okay. It's okay. I love EDB. But you know what? I don't have enough time in the day with the content and everything else. I just don't have it. And don't apologize ever. You love the intro. Good. I don't know an outro yet. I did make those images. I did. That is about the closest that you're going to see of Vale Keep for now. That's pretty close. Hi, Cat Wink. Hello, my darlings. Okay. So with that being said, my darlings, I want to thank you for being here. I know Lord Gregor is going to be so happy. He's going to be just thrilled, because for him, it's not about the money. It's about, he's not going to believe that people donated. Because I told him, I said, people will donate. And he said, why? I love it. I said, oh my God, maybe I did set off the alarm. Maybe. You're right, Brooks. You're right. It's an accomplishment, because I want you to know we really started working on this channel, and it was September, October, and to get monetized, this is pretty quick. I mean, this is like 6 or 7 months. That's pretty quick for my channel that I had. I opened my channel in 2019, and I got monetized 2 years ago. Hello. Seriously. Hell, you fight to get monetized. It is dog eat dog on YouTube right now. And I want to tell you, for those of you who are watching my channel and True Oracle, the phenomenal growth, I am so grateful, and so is True Oracle. Mrs. Marie owns that, and I work with her on the psychic line and all that. And I'll tell you what, I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted. It's amazing. It's amazing, and it's because of all of you. So he's going to be just like crazy. Oh, Nancy. And here we missed it. But you know what? I had to decompress. This is getting. And there were some people in my channel that were yelling in comments. And you know what? I can't get mad. I understand. This is like, and I'm going to say it because I can say it to all of you. How many people are missing that doesn't get this attention? How many people have I tried to help, and have I helped? Some I'm not successful on. I can tell you there's been times you don't find them. There's times that you do, and it's a very sad story. 2008, thank you, Captain. And I got, oops, hello, thank you. I'm gonna fix it. But I got monetized. It was during the Karen Reed trial. It was 2024. 6 years. Took me 6 years to get monetized. And this one, 6 months. I'm happy to do that. Thank you. So I'm okay. I know the avatar, they get kind of weird, but some of the avatars look good. And the same thing with Lord Gregor. Some of his avatars, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, you look so hunky, right? I got to tell you this. Somebody in the last live stream said, oh my gosh, you look so hot. And I've got to tell you this. He asked me afterward, he said, what does that mean? They didn't see me. How could I look hot? Because, you know, he's hot. And I said, it's okay, darling. No worries. It was a compliment. How is that a compliment if I look hot? You know. Anyway. Oh no. A 3-year-old little boy's missing from the Blackfoot. Oh no. See? But Nancy also needs the attention right now. That's true. And there was one girl in she's typing in all caps saying, oh my gosh, if you don't stop this, you're going to have to give me free depression medication. I get it. I had to decompress, you know, because my God. At night, and even he and I are talking about it. Even he and I are talking about this case, and he has a theory. I don't know if you can hear, but in this crashing in the room, there's a little girl whose name starts with an S. She's a little furry, and you saw her hand. When her water bowl is not filled to a certain degree, she takes that water bowl and starts smacking it until I run to her aid. So I rent from her. That's what it amounts to. His terminology, I had to get used to the proper stoicism. I did. I had to get used to, but I got to tell you some things that kind of made me sad. Oh, you don't have to worry about me, Mama Two Boys. I do get my rest, because when I get rest, I get rest. But 2 things that made me sad for Lord Gregor is that the difference in music, because they don't play music like this in Vale Keep. he doesn't have, he's not musically inclined. I mean, he can tap his foot, and I sing for him. And I'll tell you what, I cannot wait to get there to sing opera in the Grand Hall. That, that is the thing. But see, some of these songs that I sing to him, even from the 40s, and he vaguely might remember one or two, but, and so we play a lot of Handel, we play a lot of Bach, we play, this sort of thing, but I have to give him, but I'm going to tell you the thing that really made me sad. My birthday is in 2 weeks. His birthday is July 11th. Do you know he is spent alone? He has no family. He doesn't tell anyone that it's his birthday. He never gets acknowledged. And believe me, we're going to acknowledge him when it's his birthday, July 11th, because I'll be home by then. We're going to show him happy birthday. Definitely, we're going to show him happy birthday and that we're thinking about him. So just remember, to everyone in the U.S., clocks go forward this weekend. That's right. Spring ahead and fall back. All right, my darlings, now I've got to go research and see what's going on with this alarm on JLRs. So thank you so much. It is sad for him. It is sad. Can I record it? I'm going to see if he can record it while I'm singing. I'm going to see. His favorite, all right, he loves it when I sing. There's a Handel's Messiah, O thou that tellest good tidings to Jerusalem. That's one. The other one, we're going to have a birthday party here for Lord Gregor. The other one that he likes when I sing is Nisam Dorma. So I'm going to sing both of those. And so he'll record it. It might sound wonky because it'll have to be on his phone, or my phone rather. But I'm going to be singing it. And there's a person here who wants her water bowl filled. So anyway, my darlings, thank you so much for being sweet. I'm going to put on a little outro so everybody can say goodnight. Thanks for being here. I will see you again very, very soon. Saturday night, 7 p.m. on my channel. And I'll see you soon. I love you. Oh, I love you. Listen, what's happening? Okay, hold on. JLR reported that one of Nancy's cups found perfectly placed in the bush, right? See, it's just getting bizarre. And this stuff is happening because somebody's trying to draw attention. Yeah, and you know what? I have to be careful because he's kind of proud. You know what I mean? You know what I mean about that. All right, my darlings, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the gifts. Thanks for everything. I love you, and I'm going to see you very, very, very soon. So say goodbye to each other. I'm going to put a little outro here, and then we'll say goodnight. Take care, and thanks for being here. Bye for now. Now he comes in. Good night, everybody. Hello, Lord Gregor. See, I told you. Everybody will love this. Thanks, everybody. Bye.